yeah, we're just friends, nothing's gonna happen, but like, still go. I think there's still a benefit to go because sometimes you kind of have to like set your boundaries. Try to just be honest with what your feelings are, be nice with what you're saying. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day, a great night. My name is Brianna and today I'm going to be going over how to say no to dates. Now before we get started into the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, it'd be amazing, and let me know below what other little dating stuff you want to see. Alright, let's get in. So the number one thing I hear, and I've heard this all growing up, is you should always say yes to a date. And this bothers me because there's so many reasons that you shouldn't, and you should never feel like, yes, it's polite to say yes, but if you're really not interested, or there's various of other reasons why you should not go on, we should not feel like we have to go because you're gonna waste their time, you're gonna waste your time, and there's all that. So we're gonna get a bunch of different things. I don't like that philosophy, and let's get in. So number one, if you ever feel for any reason that you're not gonna be safe on a date, it doesn't mean that reason, sometimes it's just gut and you don't know why, you shouldn't feel pressured into going into that date. You don't always know why, follow that gut if you do. Like, that's my advice, is you should not feel like you have to go on the date for various reasons. Sometimes you don't find out later. There's been a lot of dates where I was asked and there was something just off, and there's definitely ones I never found out, but there's been quite a few where I found out later why I shouldn't, like, it was good I didn't go on that date. So I'm just saying, like, don't just say every single guy is gonna be unsafe, because I've gone on so many good and wonderful dates. But if you don't feel safe for any reason, don't feel like pressured that you have to go in. Another reason to say no, if you're 100% sure nothing is ever gonna happen with that person, don't waste your time, don't waste their time, and don't waste their money, because I feel like that's super valuable. And yes, it's gonna hurt in the moment, and I'm gonna go over this again a lot through this video. Yes, it will, no matter how nice you say things, it's probably gonna hurt to some little extent, but you have so many people, and I think you're probably the same way. You'd rather hear it up front than be led on, you know, like if it's on a first date, if it is like multiple dates, and you'd rather hear like up front that they're not interested than be like doing all this stuff with them and spending this money and time and effort into something that's never gonna happen. So there is also that spot, because I've had dates where I was like, yeah, we're just friends, nothing's gonna happen, but like, still go. I think there's still a benefit to go, because going on those dates, you never know what will happen, and like you're misunderstanding. But I guess my philosophy is, you're gonna be on the date and you know the whole entire date you're gonna be like just wanting to get off, then that's when you should end it. But if there's kind of like that like area of like, hey, they probably would still be fun to go with, we're good friends, like let's try this out, like you never know, because I've actually been surprised by guys who I thought nothing was gonna happen from, and things did. So kind of use your judgment there, but you shouldn't feel pressured, because there's gonna be so many family friends and everyone that like are gonna like come up with stuff, and I'm gonna be someone to tell you that like you don't have to go, because I don't know your life. Most people don't know every little bit or why you don't, but you should not feel pressured into going on a date. I've done the same thing. I've actually asked guys and they have said no to me, and I've had like polite responses and they've told me, and like, yeah, I'm just like, oh, I'm disappointed and I'm kind of like sad, and it kind of hurts a little bit because you're just like, I was just rejected. But honestly, like I stepped back and I was like, no, I'm so glad he told me, because I can find someone else to go on this date with me, and I know that they'll actually like care more, and it could lead to somewhere, where with this guy, like it was not going to. So I'd much rather have that and be able to like go somewhere with the relationship than not. And like, this is not just like for me going and saying doom, but this is like me, and I've actually talked to so many other people, guys and girls, and it's the same thing. Like, yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit in the moment, but you'd rather hear it now than after you've already been spending a lot of time and effort with them. So now I want to go into, how do you say no to dates? This one is hard, because you have to play by the situation. Like, there's similar stuff you can definitely use, and so I'll be going over some examples, but you definitely always go by like your language, change stuff around, get people's advice around you as well helps. A lot of times, sometimes, like, if you get someone of the opposite gender can help you with it, they can be like, they're kind of thinking more the same, and so that's something that's really helped. But I wanted to go over a couple things that maybe this can help you out, because, like, if you're anything like me, you never want to be mean, and sometimes you've been going on multiple dates with someone and you're just not feeling it. There's different reasons why that could be. It's all your own. These are your own reasons, and it doesn't matter what they are. I don't care what they are. They're yours. But there's different ways. So I'm going to first go over how to ask, or how to say no to a date. They asked you, let's say that's like a first date, and they're asking you how to say no, and then also a second date. So we'll go over our second or multiple after you've been dating someone for a while, or you've been going on multiple dates and you're just not feeling it and you don't see this going into a relationship. How you would put it out. So I heavily believe in the compliment sandwich. A little compliment, like kind of saying what you want to say, but then also complimenting it at the end, because honestly, we're all in this dating game and it sucks, and we're all just trying to get through it as fast as possible, or some people want to be like just dangle and do other stuff, but they can go do their own thing. This is for us, where we're trying to be nice and polite and trying to get somewhere. This is a little something I want to read because we're going off my brain and my brain sometimes is like blah, but okay. So this is just an example of something that you could use. I've used stuff similar to this in the past to say, and so okay, I'll just get right into this. You seem really nice. I'm not really interested in a date, but I hope you find someone else because I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. So that one's kind of like, this one's like a little blunt. If you want to like say, hey, you want to still be friends, like that's fine. Or like maybe if you really can't, like just saying I'm not ready right now if you like think you're gonna be ready in the future. But I would always recommend, if you never want to be friends, then don't say that. Only say if you actually want to be friends. Also don't say I'm not available right now, I can't right now, if you never want to go on that date. Like you'd rather just be a straight up front than think someone in the future, like for them to think in the future that it could work out. So try to just be honest with what your feelings are, be nice with what you're saying, but just being like encouraging. We're all kind of in this dating game, and encourage them for better for the future. So this is the second date, multiple, like not just second, but if you've gone on multiple dates with someone. Something you could say along with this. I've had a lot of fun with you. I've had a lot of fun getting to know you. You seem like a really awesome person. You can also add other things in there about them. I'm not really interested in a second or going on another date, but I really hope the best for you and in like dating, and whoever you're gonna work out with will be lucky. And you can also change the words around and do that. But I guess like I have a friend and she has a lot of friends that are guys, and she likes doing that, and so she always will like leave it open for friends and like contact, where for me, I don't have a lot of close friends I don't have like a lot of like a big group of friends, and so I kind of just keep things like, hey, if it's not gonna work out, then like I'll just kind of end it there. But as I say, everyone's different, so this is coming from like, hey, like I'm totally ending things. But if you want to like keep friends with them, then tell them that and keep it that way. So you kind of just figure out what works for you. But this is kind of like the wording. Just my number one thing is always try to be nice, because if someone was saying this to you, how would you want it to be put? And just think of it that way, and it will really help. Always just like, when I say being honest through all this, I don't mean like, hey, you're like you're ugly, or like you're not smart enough, or like different stuff like that. Like honestly, no one's like that. I honestly don't believe that for anyone. But don't like say mean stuff. What I mean is be honest with like how you're feeling. So if you're not feeling it with a date, you're not feeling it to go forward, then I say, hey, end that, don't lead them on, don't keep texting them longer. If you're not interested, if you want to talk to other people just want honesty. And even though in those moments where it's gonna hurt a little bit, they can at least move on with their life and they can find someone else. So when I say be honest and be nice. And don't keep making them excuses like, oh, I'm not available tonight, maybe some other time. Like, don't just do it. Just tell them to say, hey, I'm not interested in going on a date, but thanks for the offer, you seem really cool, happy you like the best for you, something like that. Like, just be nice and open, and just don't keep making all these excuses, because people's emotions are all over the place and it's hard to decipher. But if you're upfront and honest, it's a lot easier. Another thing is, you don't need reasons to say why you don't want to go on that date. Everyone's are different. It might be because of the person, something that happened, but you don't need to tell them, because, and here's why. Because something that you may see as a flaw that you don't like may be something that someone else is looking for, and that may be like really important to them. So you don't need to give any reasons. Doesn't matter how cocky or like, well, you think that you know like this will help that person. Like, don't go up and be like, oh, I don't like you because you like this. Well, someone else might like that too, you know? So just be considerate, you know? Even if they're insisting, you don't need to answer them. You don't need to feel like you need to tell them. Now, if they're insisting for like forever and they're like, why? Well, maybe you tell them, maybe you don't. Like, you feel the situation, but you shouldn't feel like you have to tell them. And if you don't want to, you can always block them, because you've already kind of ended your thing. You're not ghosting at that point. Yeah, if you're giving someone a reason and then they keep bothering you after that and you block them or anything, that's not ghosting. I think there's some misunderstanding there. That's not ghosting. Ghosting is where you're in the middle of a conversation with someone, you've been talking, and suddenly you end things. If you don't respond, like you haven't talked to them in a while and they send something and you're not interested, like, that's not ghosting either. Ghosting is the middle of the conversation. So if you give someone a reason why you want to end things and then they keep harassing you, you like never responding to them is not ghosting, and you can do that and that's fine. And always read your situation. Every person's different. Every person's going to react differently. When you're going to end things, or you want to like to end things with people, is fill the situation. If they're only ever texting you, then you can respond with like a text saying, hey, I'm not interested. But maybe if they've been calling, then maybe you call them. Let's say you've been going on multiple dates. Like, you feel the situation, you feel how you need to do this, and how is best to do that. And then you can all like, you want to do, how would you want someone else to tell you, and would you feel better? Like, the number one thing when you're trying to say no or end something, maybe going on several dates, is it's hard. Dating is not fun, and the other person may be feeling it. And there's so many different situations why someone would not be interested, why they're not feeling it. You don't always know. Like, that's the point in dating that I'll probably talk about this in a lot of videos, and I've talked with like my mom, is it's just like, you might feel a connection, you might feel things are great, but the other person doesn't. And it doesn't until like two people both feel that things end up happening. And so just be patient. Always look at this situation you're ending things as, how would you want someone to say no to you? Just try to be nice and polite in the situation, but sometimes you kind of have to like set your boundaries for your own sake, and because you like, there's so many situations that sometimes like the guy or the girl is gonna take this advice and they're gonna be like, oh, thanks for letting me know, and sometimes they're gonna react differently and they're gonna be kind of rude and meaning and like harassing you about it, and you never know. So always feel the situation. If you feel like you need to block them because you're not feeling safe for something, then don't feel bad if you have to do that, because you've said your words, you've ended things, and you need to do that. So always, yeah. So I hope this video helped you out in your dating world. I wish you the best of luck. It's not always fun, but yeah, I hope you liked watching this. If you have any more dating questions, go send me a message over on Instagram, and I love to be able to help answer those, or comment down below them as well, or any other dating videos you want to see. But I'll see you in my next video. Please, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. It means a lot, and it will be good with like, it will like help my video get out, and it will be great. So I'll see you in my next video. Hope you have a great day, great night. Bye, I love you.